Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm Jodie, and each week I share real stories from real people on love, heartbreak, despair, and all the mess in between. And this week we've had some wonderful letters submitted by people who have entrusted me to tell their stories on their behalf. So if you do feel a connection to them or you want to leave some support, please do so by commenting below. I'm sure they would love to hear it, as would I. So before we get started on the first letter, if you do fancy a bit of a cry, stick around to the end because the last letter is a little bit sad. Let's get into it. The first letter has been sent in by somebody who would like to remain anonymous, and they've titled it, "He Showed Me What Tenderness Could Look Like." Dear you, I still don't know if I miss you or if I just miss who I was when I was with you. Before you, love felt like performing, like holding my breath or walking on glass. But you were the first person who made me feel safe. Not in some movie-like grand gesture kind of way, but in the little things, like the way you always passed me the mug with the handle facing out, or how you waited to speak until you could tell I was really done. You asked me questions I didn't even know I was holding answers to, like what kind of music made me cry, or why I always apologized when I asked for something. It wasn't perfect, and we weren't perfect. But for the first time, I didn't feel like I had to earn softness. When we ended, I didn't hate you. I couldn't. You were the one who showed me what tenderness could look like. And even if I never see you again, I think I'll carry that with me forever. Oh, what a great story to kick us off with. Thank you so much for sending that through. Kind of struck something in me about always apologizing after you ask for something. It's kind of me to a T. But I especially loved when you remembered how they always handed the mug with the handle facing out. I think that's such a wonderful way to remember somebody by. Sometimes our person isn't our forever person, but they make such an impact on us anyway. So that was really lovely. Let's get on to letter number 2. Letter 2 is by somebody who would just wish to go by the letter L, and they've titled it, "I Still Dream About Him." Hi. I'm not even sure why I'm writing this or what I want out of it. Maybe just to finally get it out of me. Maybe I'm tired of pretending it didn't happen to me or that it didn't matter. It did, and it does. I met him when I was 24 and he was 31. Confident, magnetic, the kind of guy who could walk into a room and instantly make you feel like the most interesting person in it. That's how he made me feel. Seen, finally. After years of feeling like background noise in my own life, I thought it was love. Maybe it was, but it was also chaos. He'd disappear for days, then come back and act like nothing happened. There were always stories, always half-truths I convinced myself were enough. Oh, I thought the last letter was sad. I was so sure I could be the one to fix it. That if I just loved him better, more gently, more fiercely, he'd finally choose me properly. But he never did. He chose himself every time, and still I stayed. When he left for good, no explanation, just a silence that swallowed everything. I thought I'd break in half. My friends were relieved. You're better off, they say. He never really loved you. But I did. I really, really did. It's been 4 years now. I'm married. He's a ghost. But some nights I still wake up thinking I saw him in a dream and I missed something that wasn't even real. So, what does that say about me? I guess I just want to know if it's normal to still ache for somebody who never truly showed up. If it's okay that I built a whole version of love in my head and still mourn it like a death. Anyway, thanks for reading. L. Oh, wow. That was quite a trip. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who feel exactly the same way that you do, who have experienced something so similar, if not sound exactly like the life that they've lived. And so I do think it's normal to feel this way, and it's strange how on the outside everybody can see what's so wrong with it when we're incapable of seeing it at the time. But thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Let's do our third letter. This next letter has been sent in to us by Julia. Hi, Julia. If you're watching, thank you so much for sending this in. This one really struck something within me, so let's go through this together. And it's titled, I only cried when I realized I never once said no. Hey, it's been years now, but I still think about how it crept in. How slowly I started disappearing just to make room for you. I don't think you meant to take so much from me, but I gave it anyway. My time, my energy, my sleep, my voice. I thought that if I loved you enough, you'd change. But what really happened is I stopped recognizing myself. I said yes when I wanted to say no. I agreed when I wanted to argue, and I smiled when I wanted to scream. And the weirdest thing is, I didn't even cry when we ended. I cried the day I realized I never once said no. That's when I knew I'd been gone a long time. You were the one who changed me, but not in the way I hoped. You were the reason I learned that boundaries are love, that silence doesn't keep the peace, it just buries the truth. And that next time I will not shrink to keep somebody else comfortable. Wow. There's always a moment that we realize that we've given ourselves so much to somebody. And I do hope that moments like that are in the past for most of us and that we are in a better place now. I don't know why that letter affects me so much. Actually, that's a lie. I do know why that affects me so much. But it was really tough to read, and I hope that you're on your path to healing, and that you don't look back at it with such shame. I know that I can sometimes look back at my past and be so disappointed in myself for what I allowed myself to do, what I allowed myself to go through. But I'm really trying to fix that and not look back at it with such shame and just be grateful that I am stronger and better for it. So thank you so much for sharing that letter with us. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you do have any stories of your own, there are instructions in the description box on how to get those to me. I would love to read through them, and hopefully they get to be part of one of our next videos. Again, if any of these stories resonated with you, with something that you maybe went through or something that you're currently going through, please drop us a comment, because I think everybody that has sent their letters in and everybody here would love to hear it. And if you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments below what you thought. I'll see you next time. Bye.